OMG, she is starting a chainsaw with flip-flops on. She doesn't know what she's doing. Well, maybe I do. Stick around and find out. Hey y'all, thanks for tuning back into Chickanic. Hope everybody's having a great week. I know you're thinking, what in the world is she doing with two identical Poulan chainsaws sitting on her bench? Well, there's good reason for it, and you're going to want to hang around and see why. I have been telling customers for years this fact that I assumed, and today I'm putting it to the test because I could have been wrong. And what have I been telling people? I have been telling them, do not ever, ever, ever use marine two-cycle oil in your air-cooled two-cycle engine. I just assume that since boat motors that are two-cycle run at about 4,000 to 5,000 RPMs and air-cooled two-cycles like these chainsaws run at 8,000 to 12,000 RPMs, I figured it's got to be a different oil. There's no way that that oil is going to work in this one and you're going to burn your unit up. So today I'm putting it to the test. I have these two identical PP4218A Poulan chainsaws. I know the mufflers are different. I have no idea why, because essentially everything else on these chainsaws are exactly the same. I got these free last year when customers, they give me chainsaws all the time, especially these Poulans, because they sit around after, a customer will buy it for one job and then it'll sit for years, and the next time they go to use it, it needs everything fuel related, like the fuel filter, fuel line, carburetor kit. The air filter in the old one would turn to dust. So I hold on to these, and when I'm slow, I'll put all the parts they need in them and turn around and sell them for $100 a piece. It's money all day to me. It's the easiest trash to treasure I do, pretty much. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go over these chainsaws and make sure that they're identical. Now, I wouldn't have put all the money into fixing these unless I knew that the cylinders were really in perfect shape. So we're gonna go inside, break out the HD endoscope, and let's see if it still has the cross hatching, make sure there's no up and down scoring. Then we're going to test the RPMs, and we're going to make sure that both of them are running at the exact RPMs. And if they're not, I'm going to break out my handy dandy toolkit here, and we're going to adjust the carburetors to where essentially these are running exactly the same. While they're running, I'm going to check and see how hot they're getting. I'm going to run the dickens out of them, and hopefully we're going to see, does marine oil really make a difference? So in chainsaw number 1, we're going to be putting the Echo Red Armor oil in it. I'm going to mix up fresh batches for both of these. This is the best oil there is, and as you know, I always leave links in the description box below so you can get your own. And in chainsaw number 2, we're going to put the Valvoline Marine 2-stroke oil, and it's the one thing about it, it says to mix it at a different ounce ratio. Like this one and the steel, the Husqvarna, the Red Armor, they all say mix one of these bottles to 1 gallon of gas, and that's 2.6 ounces. I think on this one it says mix 3 ounces for every gallon of gas, so that's a little different, but I'm gonna do what it says. All right, so I removed the mufflers on both of these, and now I'm going to remove these top covers so we could take the plugs out. Get in your hole. Oh, nothing like a new real, oh, I love it. Okay. That way we can see from this side and looking down through the spark plug hole. Give us the best view on both of these. Also, if you need a video on how to do everything after you've let one of these sit forever, like years, I already put a video out 2 years ago, I think. I will leave a link right up above on it. I was showing how fast I could fix one, and it would have been 30 minutes if the throttle control wouldn't have messed up on me, but it shows how to replace the fuel lines and everything, carburetor kit, fuel filter on this, so check it out. I will also leave it at the end of the video, so stay watching this video if you want, and you can see it at the end. All right, let's see what we see inside here. Perfect. Perfect. Let me show y'all. All right, we are busting out the HD Endoscope. Mine is by Tech. I do leave it in the description box below if you want to check that out. And it's really cool. It's got a really good HD screen on it. We're going to go in through the spark plug hole first and see what it looks like in there. Oh, let me hit record on this thing. All right, we are recording. Now there's a little bit of carbon buildup on the top of this piston here, but the cylinder itself looks pretty perfect. Oop, come on. Yeah, see that? It's in perfect shape. Let's go in through the muffler and see that side. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, it's just too shiny, too shiny. But I know I'm not getting that good, but it's perfect. It still has the cross thatching on it. Everything looks great. All right, so that was saw number 1. I wrote a 1 right here. Let's pull up saw number 2. Let's go through the spark plug hole first. All right, second one, let's see what it looks like inside. Oh, we got that ring up top. You can see that from just the bad gas sitting in it for years. It looks slightly worn, but I don't see anything too troublesome. There's a little bit of a worn spot, which is like in all Poland's. It's not as pretty as number 1, but we're going to keep this in mind when we do this test, what this looks like here. Now let's go in through the muffler and see what it looks like. Alright, let's go up in here, see what's going on. Yeah, pretty much the same. Got a little marking right there. You can tell this one's running a little rich. It's a little more moist looking than that last one, but the majority of it looks fine. Just keep an eye on that one. Everything looks pretty good. Okay, we'll keep all that in mind. But what's the real reason we're here, guys? We want to burn this thing up, don't we? We want to know if marine oil is going to burn it up, and we will be able to tell the difference if it does, for sure. And before I go any further, if you ever do take your muffler off your chainsaw, it took me a long time to figure this one out, I'm going to admit, but it is so much easier. If you get your bolts started through your muffler, turn the whole saw up on its end like this. If you work with gravity with your bolts, it's so much easier to get them in the hole instead of trying to fight with them, everything falling down. So. Falls right into place almost every time. Okay, so I got saw 1 and saw 2 here. I'm keeping the covers off so we can use our tachometer to check the RPMs. I got my handy dandy toolkit out here with my spline tool in case I've got to do some carburetor adjustments. If you do not have one of these toolkits, they adjust everything. I do leave a link in the description box below so you can get your own. So let's see what these bad boys are running at. I think we're pretty good with those saws. They're both running at about 3,000 RPMs on the idle and about 11.1, 11.2 on the full throttle. So they're about pretty much the same. I'm gonna go ahead and fill each one up. We're gonna put red armor in saw number 1 and the marine oil in saw number 2, and let's go run these things. All right, I've got 1 gallon of gasoline in each of these. Red armor is going to go in this one. I have it marked red armor, and the marine's going to go in this one. So this is 1 ounce to the top. Let's turn this on so it's easier. They're all gassed up and oiled up, ready to go. I'm gonna run the one with the red armor in it. Ron's gonna run the one with the marine oil in it, and we're just gonna cut a bunch of wood. So I'm back inside. I had to change because I was a sweaty mess. I decided to do this on, I guess, the hottest day of the year so far. It was 85 degrees with like 100% humidity here in Arkansas. So I got the mufflers taken off both of these. They've cooled down. I've got the top covers off and the spark plugs loose. Let's see what's going on inside. Now we've got number 1 saw here. We're going to check this plug. If it's white, we know it's been burning hot. If it's dark, we know it's been going too rich, but it looks perfect. So I don't know if y'all can see that. Burning clean. Let's get the endoscope out and look inside. This is the one that was ran with the red armor, so I'm expecting it to be perfect still inside. We're going to go in. We're going to go in the spark plug hole first. Still looks good. Still a lot of carbon buildup on the top of the piston. Not much change there. Maybe some of it burned off, but the cylinder walls still look exactly the same from this view. All right, let's go into the muffler side so we can see the intake. Everything still looks good. Looks pretty perfect. Now the one we all been waiting for, the number two, one that we ran with the marine 2-cycle oil. And I can't find anywhere online that says it's okay to do this. Everywhere you look, it says do not use marine oil in your air-cooled engine, but I don't know, guys, it ran pretty good on it. Let's see what it looks like inside. So we got the spark plug loose here. And it was burning perfect from the plug. I mean, that thing looks great. Let's look inside and see what we see through the spark plug hole. We've got that same little bit of up and down scoring right there. The same marks going around that we saw earlier. In fact, it looks a little cleaned up, like it got rid of some of the varnish. I don't know. While it was running, we were checking to make sure that, you know, it wasn't much hotter than the Red Armor one, and it wasn't. Both of these were running at about, I forgot what it was, 330 degrees Fahrenheit. Looking in this way, I don't know what is on this camera, but it is not picking up as good as it was earlier. There we go. It looks exactly the same. It didn't do anything to this saw. It ran really good on it and never died. The plug looks great. So I don't know, guys. Is there a conspiracy about this? Are they getting more money out of us by buying single little bottles to mix with 1 gallon instead of buying a gallon of marine oil that you can get for, like, I think this was $20-something when a gallon of 2-cycle premium brand, like the Steel Echo, something like that, it's going to be at least $60. I'm sort of at a loss here. I really expected this saw to burn up or at least show signs that it was getting hot. The whole time we were checking the temperature and it stayed consistent with the other saw that was running on the Red Armor. The spark plug looks perfect. The inside of the cylinder looks perfect. I really don't understand. I can tell you from all my other experiments doing stuff with like the True Fuel and things like that, you can tell within a couple minutes of running something from the plug and from the inside what it's doing to the machine, that it's getting too hot, that it's burning up. This just doesn't look like it to me at all. I don't know. I can say this experiment is not over because I am definitely going to dig deeper into this. I don't understand it. If any of you out there are oil gurus and know something that I don't, please leave a comment below and let me know, because to me, it seems like this saw ran great on it and it shows no signs of wear, no signs of getting hot. I am not going to tell you to use marine oil in your air-cooled engines because I'm not a scientist. I can't tell you exactly what it's doing, and I'd hate for you to burn up your expensive equipment. If you have a warranty, definitely use the oil that is specific for your brand of equipment until your warranty runs out, at least, because they can tell when it comes to those kinds of things. But guys, I don't know. I'm left still wondering here. So what do you think? You think there's a conspiracy? Hopefully this video will save you some time, money, and frustration in the future. If you haven't found me on Facebook, find me at facebook.com/Chickanic. Find me at Instagram at TheRealChickanic, or find me at Chickanic.com where you get your own t-shirts, hoodies, and long sleeve shirts. Thanks, guys, and have a great day.